South Africa is once again confronting serious questions about corruption and accountability at the heart of its municipal structures after senior officials linked to one of Gauteng's most critical metros were denied immediate release, with Julius Mkhwanazi and Kagiso Lerutla now set to remain behind bars following a dramatic court appearance that has intensified scrutiny over alleged wrongdoing inside the Ekurhuleni Metropolitan Municipality. The decision by the Boksburg Magistrates Court to postpone their bail application is not just a procedural delay, it is a moment that underscores the seriousness of the charges and the complexity of the investigation, as both men face allegations that go to the core of governance, including fraud, corruption, and defeating the ends of justice, charges that, if proven, would represent a profound breach of public trust in institutions responsible for maintaining order and delivering services. At the center of this unfolding crisis is Mkhwanazi, a suspended acting chief within the Metro Police structure, whose arrest follows months of mounting pressure and revelations that emerged through the Madlanga Commission, where testimony exposed a pattern of alleged misconduct, internal conflict, and operational irregularities within law enforcement structures, painting a picture of an institution struggling with both leadership instability and systemic vulnerabilities. His arrest by a specialized task team linked to the commission signals that authorities are now moving beyond inquiry and into enforcement, a transition that often marks a critical phase in corruption investigations, where evidence gathered through testimony begins to translate into formal criminal proceedings, raising the stakes significantly for those involved. Alongside him is Lerutla, a senior administrative figure within the municipality, whose arrest at OR Tambo International Airport adds another layer of seriousness to the case, not only because of his position, but also because it suggests a coordinated effort by investigators to secure key individuals linked to what appears to be a broader network of alleged irregularities within the Metro's operations. The fact that Lerutla's legal team has pointed to a case dating back to 2019 highlights the long-running nature of the issues now coming to the surface, suggesting that the current developments are not isolated incidents, but part of a deeper, more entrenched pattern of governance failures that may have gone unaddressed for years. What makes this situation particularly alarming is the intersection between policing authority and municipal administration, because when individuals occupying such critical roles are accused of corruption and obstruction of justice, it raises serious concerns about the integrity of both enforcement mechanisms and administrative oversight, effectively shaking confidence in the systems designed to protect the public. The court's decision to delay bail proceedings in order to allow the defense to access the full charge sheet may appear technical, but it is in fact a crucial step that will determine the direction of the case, as it will clarify the scope of the allegations, the strength of the evidence, and the legal strategy that will unfold in the coming days, all of which will shape public perception and political response. However, beyond the courtroom, this case is already having a wider political impact because it feeds into a growing narrative about corruption within local government structures, a narrative that has been repeatedly reinforced by service delivery failures, infrastructure collapse, and financial mismanagement in municipalities across the country, making this not just a legal issue, but a political one with far-reaching implications. The timing of these developments is also critical, as they come at a moment when political parties are preparing for upcoming elections, where issues of governance, accountability, and service delivery are expected to dominate the campaign agenda, meaning that cases like this will likely be used as evidence by opposition parties to argue that systemic reform is urgently needed. From an institutional perspective, the involvement of the Madlanga Commission task team suggests that this case could extend beyond the two individuals currently in custody, potentially implicating a wider network of officials and contractors, and raising the possibility that what is now being presented in court is only the beginning of a much larger investigation into corruption within the metro. This is why the stakes are so high, because if the allegations are substantiated, it would confirm long-standing concerns that corruption within certain municipal structures is not incidental but systemic, requiring not just legal accountability for individuals but structural reform to prevent similar abuses in the future. At the same time, it is important to recognize that both Mkhwanazi and Lerutlwa remain accused, not convicted, and that the legal process must be allowed to unfold without prejudice, ensuring that any conclusions are based on evidence and judicial findings rather than speculation or political pressure. Yet even at this early stage, the case is already sending a powerful message, one that resonates far beyond the walls of the courtroom, highlighting the urgent need for stronger oversight, greater transparency, and a renewed commitment to ethical governance within South Africa's municipal systems. As the bail hearing resumes and more details emerge, the focus will remain on the evidence, the legal arguments, and the broader implications for governance. But one thing is already clear. This case is not just about two individuals. It is about the credibility of the institutions they represent and the ability of the system to hold those in power accountable.